Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Doing the clutches on the XR400. So here they're those clutch plates. I'm trying to show that there's a sharp edge there. So make sure you always put the sharp edge going out, but I'll show that later. I did manage to break some pieces on my clutch, so as it turns out, the stuff I ordered from AliExpress wasn't the right clutches for it. So proper clutch pads, but the plates were too thick and the springs were too big. So oh yeah, here we go. Basically you got to take that cover off, and before you can take the cover off, it's latched in with the what do you call it, the clutch cable lever. So let's just reverse that real quick. So yeah, just turn that lever and turn it backwards, like reverse it, and you'll get that clutch cover off. So I sat there for at least 10 minutes trying to figure out why it wouldn't pop off, and I didn't unhook that. So you unhook it, turn it, reverse it, turn it backwards, and it unlatches it from that pin that I got my thumb on right there. So it unlatches it from that knob piece, and then once it does that, it just pops off. So the next thing we gotta do is we gotta pop those. I think there's 5 bolts. Once you get those 5 bolts, there's 5 springs in there, and then that plate cover will just pop right off. So I like to just there, you see, put all the bolts back into their proper places, because some are shorter. I had 3 long, 2 medium, and 2 really short ones. So you want to make sure you have them in the right order. And in fact, what I did was I often do that too. If there's a different combination of bolts like that, is, you know, mark on the plate with a marker. Just mark an L. L for long, you know, medium, M for medium, or S for short, or something like that. Just something to remind you, so that you put those bolts back in the correct order, correct placement. So there's a lot of video here, so let's maybe fast forward through some of this stuff, especially me walking around. Alright, let's speed this up. So, yeah. Let's get those bolts off. Just break them loose. Pretty easy. Alright, look at us go. Have it off in no time. This is where the one area I did screw up. I think it's kind of show you what I did wrong, but there's the gasket too. There is a little rubber gasket on these bikes. I would assume most bikes will have some kind of gasket. Keep that oil in. As you can see, I didn't drain the oil on my bike because just for lazy man's sake, I just laid it on its side. But here we go. Here you can see these springs are actually the longer springs are definitely the wrong ones, and they came with the package. So I assumed that maybe they were supposed to be a little bit longer. What they ended up doing was breaking the that top cover. So I had to go order another cover. Went to eBay, found one for 20 bucks. So no real love lost there. But would have been nice to not broke it. So I ended up ordering some different springs too, some Wiseco springs. So I'll see how those go. They say they're a little bit stiffer, but as long as there's not too long, you know, like I should have looked at the kit, even though it said it's for an XR400. A lot of times when you order from China, it's really hit and miss. So out of this whole kit, I think I paid 20 bucks or 30 bucks for the kit, but ended up breaking something else. So it's not always the cheapest is the best way, right? So But here, let's fast forward some more of this stuff. get that cover off so you can kind of see inside there. Yeah, put some air on it. There we go. And then we get all the springs out. Make sure you soak your new pads in oil. That's a must. Not a good angle with the camera there, but there you can see those pads I got in that pail there soaking in oil. So here that cover is going to come off. I believe it's called a pressure plate, but I'm not sure the exact name of things. But there's the pads in there. I didn't get a very good angle. Hopefully I adjust that camera. Let's see what we can. Okay, so you can see I got the pads out. So there's always a pad on the very inside, in the basket itself. We'll call it the clutch basket. At the very bottom, you're gonna start with a pad, then you're gonna go with a steel spacer, and then a pad, and then a steel spacer, and then a pad and a steel spacer. So at the end of the day, you're gonna have a pad at the bottom of the basket or on the inside, and then you're gonna have a pad on the outside. The very last disc or pad you put on has to be a pad. It can't be a steel disc. If you don't have a pad as your last one that you're popping on there, then you're doing it wrong or something's not right, because it's a pad. In this case, for these bikes, it's a pad on the inside and a pad on the outside. So I should have knew something was wrong, because these discs, they're actually thicker than the ones that came out. So there was a problem there. I should have realized too. But see how there's a sharp edge? I'm not sure why, but they say to make sure that you have the sharp edge pointing out. So feel the outside of that steel disc and make sure that sharpness is pointing out. So yeah, guys, I'll kind of shorten this video because I don't want it to be drag on here. I got like 50 minutes of video, and a lot of this we'll just edit it out. I'll show you the aftermath of what broke and kind of what parts I've had to order now. But overall, this is all you're doing, is you're putting the discs back in. One steel disc, one pad, one steel disc, one pad. I ended up going back to my original steel discs, and I ended up using the new pads from the kit that I bought online. So the only thing I could use out of this was the pads. The springs were no good. They were too long. To shorten it up, the springs were just too long, and those steel pads or the steel spacers were just too thick, so I had to go back to the original ones. But that's it for now, guys. I will we'll quickly wrap this up. I'll show a little bit more of it going back together and stuff like that, and what else I found that was broken and stuff like that. But we'll go from there. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will try to get something out as soon as I can, probably within the week or so. Thanks, guys. See you soon.